Hi guys, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Welcome back. It's Megan, the fibromyalgia warrior, faithful fibromyalgia warrior, I have to say. I'm sitting out in my sun lounger slash lounge chair, chaise lounge, if you want to call it that, in my backyard here in Colchester, England. It is Wednesday evening, just before 6 p.m. It's about, I don't know, maybe 19, 20 degrees. And the reason I say faithful is because I faithfully trusted God was going to finally bring us some nice weather. Boy, did he ever. It's awesome. It's been clear skies, sunshine, hot without being too humid. Absolutely fantastic. So thankful. I know some people are already complaining that, oh, it's already too hot and all this stuff. Not me. I'm just glad to have this weather. So I just wanted to have a bit of a change of scenery. Tired of always, sitting in the same room for these videos. And I figured you guys might want to see a change of scenery. So I'm just going to turn the camera here. You can see it's a low chaise lounge, so I'm about a foot off the ground, if that. And that's the very back of the property. There's like a shed at the back, if you will, where we keep our stuff. And if I turn this so you can look back, that's the back of our house with some laundry on the line. So anyways, yeah, I'm just, here's the fibro coming in, right? It's this whole, I can't sit for long because then I get sore, and then I stand up, and then I'm standing for too long, and then I'm sore, and then I have to sit down. And I want to talk about what do I do, and I have all these ideas, and I'm too tired, and my brain feels like maple syrup, and I don't know how to put it all together. Anyways, that's where we are right at the moment. So, I'm trying this out. This may become my go-to spot for making videos here in the backyard. That way I'm outside enjoying this beautiful weather, which apparently we're going to have for at least a week. I'll take it. Yeah. So I don't know about you guys, but I think sometimes it's really frustrating to think I'm feeling all right today, and then I try to do stuff, and then I get overtired, and then I get rebound pain the next day. And you'd think I'd remember this and learn from it, but apparently I don't. So I'm feeling a bit sore today. If you guys are feeling the same way, my sympathies. All I can suggest is if you are at all able to, sit down, get comfy, and put your feet up. Because for me at least, when the weather gets nice and warm, I find that my feet and my hands can swell up. I have arthritis. I also have Raynaud's. So if I'm standing or sitting like straight up and down for too long, all the blood seems to pool at my feet and they swell up. So wearing flip-flops helps because it's hot out. I don't have to wear socks, which always make me feel like my circulation is being cut off anyways. So there's a suggestion. A like lukewarm shower is always a good idea, so you're not super cold and then going out into the heat, but you're not super hot and then feeling worse, right? Just some thoughts. Now, here's one I'm going to suggest that most people think I'm nuts for suggesting, which is having a nice hot cup of coffee, be it decaf or regular, on a hot summer's day, because it makes your body sweat, and the sweating helps to cool your system down. Now, me personally, I enjoy a nice hot cup of coffee any time of the year, and I don't know if that actually helps or not, but I actually prefer a regular coffee to an iced one most of the time. I was sitting out in the sun tanning whilst I was reading yesterday, and I made myself my own iced coffee. which is not that hard to do. Make yourself some coffee, be it instant or filter or French press. Pour just a small amount into a really tall glass. Fill it up with your milk, whatever you use. I use coconut milk, and then dump in a ton of ice cubes. So it's not going to be ice cold, because for that you gotta chill the coffee in the fridge. But it'll cool off, and then as the ice cubes melt, it makes it nice and cold. So I don't know, it was refreshing. There's a thought. I have a really nice bikini that I actually enjoy wearing. That's comfortable. It's not like I'm going to go into town in it, but I'll wear it outside with, sunscreen, and that way I'm nice and cool and breezy. But that may not be an option depending where you live, depending what your weather's like. But I don't know. I just thought I'd share those tips with you. We're lucky because we get lots of wind here. Actually, Colchester has the same amount of annual rainfall as Lebanon. So we're actually quite arid and dry here. So it is actually so cool. But if you go into the park at the castle in town, there are palm trees that are there. Like short ones, not like big, huge ones, because it's not quite that hot. But yeah, it's dry enough and hot enough that we get palm trees growing over here, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a weird week. My medication has not changed at all, but I'm feeling super fuzzy-headed, and like my brain has just taken a train and just left the station of fluent thought, if you will. Any sort of thoughts that make sense have pretty much taken off. My brain has left, but that's okay. My poor husband has been suffering the last 2 weeks, I guess. He tore some muscle on his right side. So the muscle that goes around your rib cage on the right, sort of, his is kind of halfway between the top of the ribs and the bottom, and he tore some muscle. The doctor thinks maybe doing exercises at the gym, maybe he put too much weight on the weight machines at once. Don't know. So he's totally wiped out by pain medication and obviously the pain and not being able to sleep through the night. And I would never, ever, ever wish that on him. But he did say to me the other day that he has a brand new appreciation for the chronic pain that I deal with fibromyalgia. Because again, I am often up first thing in the morning because of my pain and all the medication I take. Like most of us, it doesn't get rid of it. It minimizes it. It makes life a lot more manageable, but the pain will never fully go away. It just won't. Oh. And here comes my best friend, my little doggy dog. This is Juno, our greyhound, who's just out protecting us from neighborhood cats that come in the backyard. And actually, there's a den of foxes that don't live too far from here. And we've seen them in our backyard and up on the neighbor's garage roof. So who knows? Anyways, guys, look, it's been a weird week. I have found it a bit of a challenge to stay focused when I'm praying with God, to stay focused when I'm trying to read through some scriptures and put them in my mind. I find I'm writing stuff out just so I remember these, like, one of those, I gotta remember this. This is so encouraging. I gotta think of this for later. And then I forget. So I've had super fibro brain this week. So if you're dealing with that, my total sympathies, my complete empathy. It is frustrating, but this will pass at some point. For me to be able to say, I feel great. My mind is somewhere off in Candyland, but I feel good about life. My pain is a lot better than it was a year ago when I first started on the ketogenic diet. If you haven't seen my other videos, between this time and last year, I have lost 55 pounds. I went from 175 pounds down to 120, 118. It sort of floats in between the two, a little bit up, a little bit down, but around 120, which I'm 5'5", I'm 48, I have very limited mobility. So all things considered, you know what? I'm at a great weight for my age, my frame, my height. Sorry, you can hear some of the kids out in the neighboring yards playing behind us. But before then, it didn't matter what pain medication I took. It didn't matter how much I took. It didn't matter what breathing exercise I tried. Nothing helped, because at the time my inflammation was so bad from all the food and food-like substances that I was eating. And of course, we were in lockdown. We'd come out of one and we were about to go into a second one. And I just felt like crap all the time. And I cut out carbs and I cut out sugars, whether it's fruit or processed. I can't handle it. I can't. I have IBS, so I already know I shouldn't eat things like seeds and nuts and legumes and cereals and grains. Why? Because they irritate my gut. I can't process them. Now, did that stop me from eating them? Of course not. Because if you're going to get a chicken korma, you have to have the rice. And even though you are gluten intolerant or sensitive, well, that's all right. You can have the coconut naan bread, because it'll somehow work together in your body and you'll be fine. I was actually told once by a doctor, about 5 years ago, I think, that since I didn't have an actual allergy to gluten, I needed to start including it in my diet so I could build up tolerance. And I was like, great. So bring on the cakes and the cookies and the brownies and all the other stuff we love that are so bad for us. Now, there are people who can eat a piece and that's it, they're done, they walk away and they're fine. Whereas me, if I have one piece, I want more. And if I have more, it gets ugly. And that leads to the binging and the purging and looking at it as this evil, sinful thing where it's not. It's just a baked good. It's not good or bad, it just is, right? But I wasn't able to see it like that. So that helped me. But what I've shared in other videos, and I'll share it here, but what ended up making the biggest difference for my mental well-being through all of this was definitely coming back to God in November last year. He was playing the long game. He was waiting patiently for me to realize I got to get my butt in gear. I became a Christian, a true disciple in 1993. And I was faithful, and we had a church we went to, and yes, they taught a lot of biblical truths, without a doubt, and we were with them for 10 years, and then the leadership sort of imploded because those who were leading the church were not listening to the members. They were ignoring people's needs. They were not allowing people to question the traditions, nothing doctrinal, but anything that was outside of the traditions was not allowed. And people had no voice. And of course, that is not how Jesus was, nor was that how God wanted things to be, so we left that church in 2003. And for the next 6 years, things were incredibly dark for both of us. And we reached a point where, for the sake of our own selves and for the sake of our marriage, we needed a massive change. We ended up moving here to England. And even then, even though we kind of knew that God was still trying to work and had some sort of plan, he was not our priority. I cannot say that I've ever fully walked away from God, but I was ignoring him. Through the challenges with our kids as they got older, being in a new country, not having our family close by, all of those things, I would have moments where I wanted to sort of get back to praying and reading my Bible, and it would kind of happen, and then it kind of just wouldn't. We tried local churches, and they weren't teaching from the Bible. about the need for baptism, about repentance for forgiveness of sins. All of those critical things they didn't teach, they didn't believe in. And so we sort of floated adrift for a long time. And we had a lot of disharmony and discord with how we ought to raise or discipline our kids. Luckily, with everything virtual, last year, through a good friend, we decided to check out a service with a church back in Ottawa. So that's 5 hours behind us, because the minister was somebody we knew from a long time ago. And, you know, our dear friend talked about how he's so different, he's so humble, he's not at all what he used to be, because he was a part of our old church back in the day. Checked out one of his services online, and it was like, wow, where was this 18 years ago? And he's not the one that restored our faith. He's not the one that brought us back to God, but he is the one that blasted open the doors around our heart. For me, for sure, his wife did as well. And we spent time with them. We worked with them, worked through the things that were problems that we needed to heal from. And so grateful to say that we restored our relationship with God. But beyond that, we deepened our relationship with each other as a married couple. Seriously. And we were able to have even more patience and forgiveness and understanding for our sons, you know, and that has made such a huge difference. And there have still been challenges with them, and yet we can look at them and say, okay, God's going to work. He's got a plan. He's going to work, right? And, you know, I used to constantly ask God, why me? Why do I have to have this fuzzy brain? Why do I have to have this continuous pain from whiplash? We were in a car accident 3 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever it was. So dealing with whiplash pain, fibromyalgia pain, and Raynaud's, and chronic lower musculoskeletal pain, dealing with IBS, with a thyroid that doesn't function properly, with an eating disorder, disordered eating, food addictions, and anxiety and depression. And those things are still there. I have all of these things, but I've realized I'm more than that, right? I guess that's what I'm trying to say to you guys. I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place. I think I saw some pink elephants dancing with our greyhound. No, but seriously, it's like I'm realizing that I'm more than that. And I didn't want to be just somebody who can't go dancing, who isn't able to work anymore, who, you know, has a hard time keeping track of stuff. It's like all my medications, I have reminders at every time of the day when I take them. And I don't swipe them as cleared until I've actually taken the pills. That way, I don't end up double dipping, which I've done a few times, and that's not fun. It just made me feel so sick after. Anyways, sidebar. But just to say, you know what? Things are not perfect. Like, they're not. We are still, you know, waiting to see what's going to happen with this Indian variant of COVID. We are a big part of the world is still under lockdown. Horrendous, horrible numbers of people are dying in India, which is absolutely tragic. You know, yes, we are way ahead on vaccines, which is great. It is. It's brilliant. And hopefully we'll continue to ease restrictions, but people will not become stupid about it. However, life may never go back to normal, right? This is a new normal, really. It's making things work from home, finding ways to do whatever it is you want to do from your home base, hopefully. I would love to be able to meet people and help them, or at least talk to them, share with them the things that have helped me find my recovery from my eating disorder, from my disordered eating, and from food addictions. And I have a whole video about this. Please check it out. But just to give you a quick summary, And eating disorder, disordered eating, and food addictions are all separate things, but they tend to all happen together. That just, unfortunately, that is the sad truth of it, you know. Um, but you can have recovery, right? And, you know, be it a 12-step program, be it in a clinical support group setting, whether it's doing that and you know, writing out journals, diaries of how you're feeling, those are all good. But for me, the key, the difference is a relationship with God. Because until I was able to accept and appreciate God's love and forgiveness, I could not forgive myself. I had no interest or desire to stop these addictive behaviors, controlling my food, you know, seeing how long can I fast for? How long can I go without food? Not from a cleansing point of view, because there's nothing wrong with that, but how long can I go? Can I lose 20 pounds? Can I lose 25 pounds? Can I, like, see if maybe I can not eat for 6 months? That's not okay, you know? And the thing is, even if you modify your food intake, okay? Even if you do light exercise, or you go out and you run like a mad person, if your body is in constant stress and the adrenaline levels are pushing your cortisol levels up to like massive amounts, you will not be able to lose the weight. Your body is going to be in fight or flight mode, right? And that means you're going to be stressed out and it will not allow you to lose to lose the weight. It's going to stay there. So you might have super toned, super slim legs, and you're going to have a paunch around your belly, because that's your body hanging on to it, hanging on to that fat, right? But if you're a carb burner, it never gets to the fat. And there's all sorts of videos out on YouTube about that. Check out Dr. Ken Berry. He has some really good videos about that, about ketogenic diet. Check out Go Keto with Casey. And my personal favorite is Carnivore Yogi, and that's with Sarah Kleiner. She's awesome. You should definitely check them out, okay? Because they're fantastic. But my whole point is this: if you do all the mood boards and the journaling, but you don't fix the food, the inflammation will never go away. Okay? If you fix the inflammation, but you don't find a way to deal with the emotional side of things, then that's not going to go away. And eventually, whatever you're doing with your food isn't going to be enough. I struggled. I have to be honest. I have been enjoying some honey roasted peanuts, which are horrible for me because I've been tired. I haven't felt like cooking anything, and I've just grabbed a few handfuls of them. Now, does that make me a terrible person? Obviously not. You know, of course not. I'm not perfect. And it's not because they're evil. Some people can handle nuts. I can't, and I know I can't. But when you have that craving, right? And it's like, well, it's better than potato chips, better than a piece of cake, but not by much, right? So I guess I'm just trying to say, guys, if you're struggling, if you're having, your head feels like it's full of like cotton candy, fluff, fog, whatever it might be, I get it. Not alone. If you're trying to stay on foods that are more inflammatory, like peanut butter, nuts, dairy, sorry, but it's true, dairy, dark greens, anything that would irritate the gut of somebody with IBS will also cause you widespread inflammation for the most part. So even if you're still eating that, you're not going to lose the weight, right? But let's say you go on the ketogenic diet, okay? You cut out all these inflammatory foods, let's just say, right? But if you are still stressed out, If you are still feeling stressed, then the inflammation is not going to reduce as much as it could. And for me, as much as I'm enjoying hanging out here in my backyard with you guys, the thing about it is this, okay? I could be out here for the afternoon, but if I haven't spent time just praying and talking to God and focusing and realizing that all of this is a blessing from Him, then it's easy to go, yeah, whatever, it's the backyard, big deal. You know what I mean? So that's for me, for me at least, that's the key that works. I hope this is encouraging you guys. I hope it helps. I hope, you'll find ways of being able to eliminate inflammation and pain, reduce it, because it'll always be there. That's the challenge of chronic pain and autoimmune conditions. Your body's fighting itself, okay? So that will probably always be there. But if you can reduce it, wow, what a difference it'll make. That may or may not mean you end up losing weight. That's not why I'm doing this. I do this because I have such a sensitive gut. The weight loss is a byproduct, okay? If you have seen a doctor and you've both agreed that, yes, you perhaps need to lose some weight, then that's for you guys to decide, okay? Approach it like this. You want to reduce inflammation. You want to improve your overall health, right? And while you're at it, hey, maybe talking to the big guy upstairs would help too, right? It helps me. Just, even if it's just thanking him for all the incredible ways he has blessed my life, with my husband, with my sons. We have a place to live. We have a backyard. During COVID, we have somewhere to go. Outdoors. All those things. Everybody has something, surely, that they're grateful for. Anyways, guys, that's it for me, because I know I'm rambling and I've run out of ideas about what I want to say next. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all your guys' support. I really do. I just wanted to be honest with you guys and real. It's been a challenge. Like I said, my head's been completely fuzzy this week. This video doesn't have any particular title. It's just me chatting to you from my backyard, where I will probably be most of the week, enjoying this nice weather. Keep hydrated, please. Drink lots of water, even decaf, right? And as I say, check out those other YouTubers if you want to know more about the ketogenic diet. They have some great info there. And in the meantime, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate all the people who've been watching my videos. It's amazing. I just want to help. I know it's worked for me. I know it's helped me. My goodness, if I could help even one other person living with the stuff that I do, that's all I want. Seriously, that's all I want, And I think maybe the next couple of videos might be more what's helped me with my addiction recoveries. So hopefully that'll help you or help somebody you know. In the meantime, guys, thanks so much. If you've watched this all the way to the end, please give it a thumbs up. And thanks for your support. If you are new, it'd be great if you would subscribe and, you know what, join our little group here. We can only but help each other, right? That's why we're here. We just here to try to help. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, whether it's the beginning of your day if you're somewhere back in Canada or the US, or it's the evening because you're living here in the UK or somewhere in Europe. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Thanks for your support, guys. All your comments are really great to have. I will try to get back to you straight away, but again, the brain sometimes just not focused, but I do appreciate all the comments, and I do respond to them personally, so thank you for that. I will see you guys in the next video, hopefully in a couple of days, all right? Take care, guys. Bye for now.